Yes, welcome once again to Africa 24. And today we have got 60 minutes. We are going to analyze what really transpired yesterday. One, Rigathi Cachagua exploded on KTN with allegation after allegation. And hello, welcome to Africa 24. My name is Mzalendo. In today's analysis, we are going to go deeper into what into the bombshell KTN did, the expose that KTN did when they interviewed one former Deputy President Rigathi Cachagua, and it took an aim at President William Ruto directly without mincing his words. During the interview, Cachagua not only alleged that Ruto demanded Kenya, Cachagua initially it was Cachagua demanded 10 billion from William Ruto in his office, or else William Ruto will go for one term. So in the next few minutes, we will break down the key moments to examine the context and the body language and the wording that Cachagua used during this particular interview. This interview is courtesy of KTN. We don't have the rights, but we'll only show you a sneak preview of the audio of what really transpired in that interview with the former Deputy President. Karibu sana to Freak 24, and this is Mzalendo. Now, remember that the president had a 5-day tour in Central Province, and the tour to some people who support Kenya Kwanza and others who don't support Kenya Kwanza feel that the tour was not a success. Those who are in support of Kenya Kwanza say that the tour was very, very successful, and people turned out in large numbers to cheer the president. Now, without further ado, let's hear what the interview was all about.
And thank you for creating time to come and talk to me so that the people of Kenya can benefit from my reply to the very ridiculous claims made by President William Ruto in Sagana State Lodge next to my house and at the foot of Mount Kenya, on the edge of Hobe Forest. And I was under a lot of pressure from supporters and people who listened to him to respond immediately. And I just tweeted that pathological lying is a mental disorder.
But the pathological lying is a mental disorder. that's an insult, Mr. Riggy G. That is a straight up insult on one Mr. President.
It's very sad that I have to spend time to respond to these very ridiculous accusations by the president. The president went to the mountain for a political tour. It's not a development tour the way you call it, because there's nothing he did. And if you go through wherever he went, he was just having rallies, relaunching projects that he had launched before, saying he's inspecting projects, he's not an engineer, he's not a quantity surveyor, he's not an architect, and making all manner of promises that he has made since he was elected as president. Let me spend a few minutes to respond to some of the things that he said in Sagana. Again, he had come to the mountain after almost 6 months of a lot of disquiet. and he needed to do some explanation. So he summoned all the vernacular stations to attempt to pacify the region that he had betrayed and to give a justification as to why he had betrayed the people of the mountain.
Okay.
These are people who had trusted him. These are people who supported him without an MOU. These are people who supported his presidency without a political party. These are people who believed in him, in all the things that he promised them. He betrayed them, he turned against them, he misused them. And he felt, of course, his advisors told him that he needed to set the tone and explain why he hounded me out of office, despite having promised the people of Kenya that he will never humiliate his deputy, he will never persecute his deputy.
Okay.
He even went beyond humiliation and persecution. He hounded me out of office.
Okay.
And he was asked a question as whether he is the one who impeached me. And he looked down, because he couldn't look at the camera straight and say, no, I'm not the one. It is the MPs who did it. In fact, I tried to persuade them not to. They tried 2-3 times. And they said, if we don't impeach this man, we'll exchange his name with yours. It's all, of course, a lie. Everybody knows. His women rep in Uasin Gishu, both Sholei, publicly in his presence told him, Mr. President, what you say I do is what I do. You told me Cachagua aende nyumbani, nikahakisha ameenda. When he rose to speak, he didn't deny. He just looked down. Everybody knows it's the worst kept secret in this country that he's the one who crafted the impeachment and bribed members of parliament.
Now, up to there, Gachagua is actually right, because one Gladys Boshule, in one of the fundraisers that the president normally conducts, was in somewhere in Uasin Gishu, if I'm not wrong. And Gladys Boshule, you know, some of these people forget that they are public figures, and whatever you say in the public, you will be judged with it at the end of the day. So Gladys Boshule made those remarks on camera that she was instructed by the president to impeach Gachagua. So Mr. Truthful Man so far is saying the truth. No lies about it. You all watched this particular clip where Gladys Boshule allegedly said that, you know, it is indeed the president who instructed me, and I work under the instructions of the president.
At 500,000 each, and senators at 10 million. Bribed the mover of the motion. The Kibwezi West MP has been everywhere complaining he was shortchanged. He had been promised to be the chairman of the Budget and Appropriation Committee after successfully tabling the motion. And again, the president was saying that the MPs overruled him. It is common knowledge that those Mount Kenya MPs cannot overrule the president. They do whatever he wants. You remember when he told them to pass the finance bill. They went and passed the finance bill despite the fact that there was public outcry, and the members of public had serious problems with them. The day he changed his mind because of the Gen Z protests and said, we are doing away with the finance bill, they were clapping for him. They never argue with him. You remember again the Adani saga. They were defending the Adani saga, and the MPs were supporting him that Adani is a good thing.
Okay.
The day he changed his mind and said we are stopping Adani, the same MPs were clapping for him. So it is very hypocritical and dishonest for President William Ruto to claim that MPs disobeyed him. Then having dealt with that, he said that he had me hounded out of office because I asked him for 10 billion. That is also another lie. I'm not on record anywhere. I'd like you to produce a clip where I told members of parliament to kneel before me. They cannot kneel before me. I'm not God. What I told the members of parliament, and it's true today as it was then, to listen to the ground and stop following President William Ruto blindly against the wishes of the people. Let me explain to you. They are not small fights. It's the president who is calling them small fights. Advising members of parliament to listen to the ground is not a small fight. It's a very honorable duty for a leader of my caliber. I listen to the people. They do not want the finance bill 2024. And I told the members of parliament, people do not want the finance bill. Don't follow the president blindly. He will leave you Kwamata. And if you people don't adjust by this December and start listening to the people of the Mount Kenya region make decisions the second year of election. And I was telling them from my experience, by the end of this year in December, if you guys have not aligned yourself with the people and listened to the people are crying about over taxation. The people are saying they don't want the affordable housing. The people are saying they don't want you to tax avocado. The people are saying that there's too much government into people's lives. And you people are following William Ruto blindly. I'm advising you people as your leader. From what the Wananchi are telling me, if you don't adjust and listen to the people, you will find yourself in trouble come 2027. Let me first deal with the 10 billion. President William Ruto is a master of deceit. And he is very good at driving narratives to suit what he wants. Between the year 2018 and 2022, he drove a narrative in the Mount Kenya region that Uhuru Kenyatta is incompetent, he's a drunkard, and he has ruined the economy and the country. He persuaded many people, I included, because he's very persuasive when he gets on a narrative. And he drove a narrative against Uhuru Kenyatta and recruited all of us, I included. I was among the leaders of those who believed in what he told us, that Uhuru Kenyatta is a drunkard, is a useless leader, is a man who has messed this country, is a man who cannot be trusted to organize the succession. And we should despise him, we should hate him. And we listened to William Ruto and he persuaded us. 5 years down the line, Uhuru Kenyatta is gone. William Ruto, the one who said Uhuru is incompetent, has come on stage. The education system that was working when Uhuru Kenyatta was there is finished. Children at home. The health system has crumbled. People are overtaxed. Nothing is working in the country. Yet, at that time, he had persuaded us that Uhuru Kenyatta is an incompetent man. Is a drunkard. Is a leader not worth talking about. He came and persuaded us that our enemy as a region is Raila Odinga, who is a witch doctor. And since Uhuru Kenyatta has brought him, and Uhuru Kenyatta does not mean well for us, we should hate Uhuru Kenyatta and trust William Ruto to carry our destiny. We believed him. He's very good in driving narratives. So when he came to the mountain, he needed to drive a narrative against Rigathi Cachagua, thinking that the people are as gullible as they were then. And he was confident that if he could successfully drive a narrative against Uhuru Kenyatta when he was president, he could equally drive a narrative against Rigathi Cachagua. And he cobbled this narrative of 10 billion. The purpose was to show the people of the Mount Kenya region, this Cachagua guy is a...
Did not blackmail the president?
Of course I did not blackmail the president, because if I did, Rogers,
yes,
it would have been accusation number 1 before the Senate.
Impeachment.
This impeachment was crafted by William Ruto. It was drafted by the National Intelligence Service and Professor Kindiki. And the president even had blackmailed him. Blackmail is a criminal offense. It should have been accusation number 1. It did not appear anywhere. Since October 18, the president has never talked about it until he came to the mountain.
Tujenge nyumba 50,000 ya social housing ya watu wa chini hapa Nairobi, na tuhakikishe ya kwamba Nairobi hii kuna usafi.
And the president had better make up his mind why he ordered me out of office. When he went to Western Kenya, he said he got rid of me because I was incompetent and tribal. He never told the people of Western Kenya asking for 10 billion. When he went to Northeastern Kenya, he said he got rid of me because I'm divisive and I don't like the unity of the country. When he went to Nyanza, he said that I am primitive, and corrupt. When he came to the mountain, he never said I'm tribal because he cannot say that. He never said I'm incompetent because he cannot do that.
Okay.
He said that I was asking for 10 billion. In fact, on Thursday morning, he met Madeira women dancers. There is a group of 1,000 women that I put together to dance for Uhuru Kenyatta, and then I handed them out to William Ruto. Most of them are friends of my late mother. Others are women who have educated their children from Form 1 up to university. My friends. He met them and told them, huyu Rigathi wenu alikuwa anaitisha mimi bilioni 10. Na nikaona kuliko kule peke yake, nimfukuse hii pesa nigawe na nyinyi nyote. So leo mtakula hii pesa ningepatia Rigathi. Those women, he gave them each 8,000 shillings. That is 8 million shillings. And he gave another 2 million shillings towards the funeral of their cheerleader who has died. And the women called me and said, this man is a liar. Because we know you. During the 2022 elections, Roger, William Ruto picked me as running mate because of my mobilization skills and my capacity to mobilize resources. Everybody knows I'm not a poor man. I was in a lot of trouble with the fourth administration because of funding William Ruto. The fourth administration froze my accounts so that I stopped funding William Ruto. The fourth administration blocked all my businesses so that I stopped giving money to William Ruto. I put serious money into his campaign. I am not the kind of man to go asking William Ruto to give me any money. In any case, let me ask you a question. William Ruto should make up his mind how much money I'm supposed to have asked. His chief propagandist, Deputy President, wrote, and it's there, I have a copy, I will give it to you.
I remember, yes.
That I'm asking for 6.5 billion. Okay?
Sure.
His Mr. Fix-It, Kimani Ichong'wa, went to Europe in an interview and said, I'm asking for 8 billion. William Ruto says, I'm asking for 10 billion. Between his Mr. Fix-It and his chief propagandist and William Ruto, can't they sit down and agree the figure that Rigathi Cachagua is supposed to have asked for? So, I want to explain to you that there is nothing like that. It was just a narrative he wanted to bring to the mountain because he needed to explain to them. Because he committed himself that he would never humiliate his deputy. He went beyond got rid of me. He needed something to tell the people of the mountain. But of course, everybody knows it's a lie. Because if that was true, it should have come.
Now, for the sake of our viewers out there, Rigathi Cachagua says he's a very rich man. Let us not forget that publicly Rigathi Cachagua has declared that he is worth 800. His net worth is 800 million Kenya shillings, 800 million. These are dealings and the wealth he got during President Mwai Kibaki's regime. Remember, Rigathi Cachagua has worked with the late President Mwai Kibaki. So he claims that he's a rich man, and people should know that he's not poor and he can donate, and he's not going to declare how much he donated for Kenya Kwanza. Now, during the deputy presidential debate, Cachagua declared that his net worth was 800 million. I don't know whether it is true. I don't know whether it is a lie that he was saying, but I hope they did a fact check on that particular issue so that the public can know that indeed Riggy G is not a poor man. He is a rich man, as he claims.
The mover of the motion, the Kibwezi West MP, has been everywhere complaining he was shortchanged. He had been promised to be the chairman of the Budget and Appropriation Committee after successfully tabling the motion. And again, the president was saying that the MPs overruled him. It is common knowledge that those Mount Kenya MPs cannot overrule the president. They do whatever he wants. You remember when he told them to pass the finance bill. They went and passed the finance bill despite the fact that there was public outcry. And the members of public had serious problems with them. The day he changed his mind because of the Gen Z protests and said, we are doing away with the finance bill, they were clapping for him. They never argue with him. You remember, again, the Adani saga. They were defending the Adani saga. And the MPs were supporting him that Adani is a good thing.
Okay.
The day he changed his mind and said, we are stopping Adani, the same MPs were clapping for him. So it is very hypocritical and dishonest for President William Ruto to claim that MPs disobeyed him. That having dealt with that, he said that he had me hounded out of office because I asked him for 10 billion. That is also another lie. I'm not on record anyway. I'd like you to produce a clip where I told members of parliament to kneel before me. They cannot kneel before me. I'm not God. What I told the members of parliament, and it's true today as it was then, to listen to the ground and stop following President William Ruto blindly against the wishes of the people. Let me explain to you. They are not small fights. It's the president who is calling them small fights. Advising members of parliament to listen to the ground is not a small fight. It's a very honorable duty for a leader of my caliber. I listened to the people. The people did not want the finance bill 2024. And I told the members of parliament, people do not want the finance bill. Don't follow the president blindly. He will leave you Gwamata. And if you people don't adjust by this December and start listening to the people of the Mount Kenya region make decisions the second year of election. And I was telling them from my experience, by the end of this year in December, if you guys have not aligned yourself with the people and listened to the people are crying about overtaxation. The people are saying they don't want the affordable housing. The people are saying they don't want you to tax avocado. The people are saying that there's too much government into people's lives. And you people are following William Ruto blindly. I'm advising you people as your leader. From what the Wananchi are telling me, if you don't adjust and listen to the people, you will find yourself in trouble come 2027. Let me first deal with the 10 billion. President William Ruto is a master of deceit. And he's very good at driving narratives to suit what he wants. Between the year 2018 and 2022, he drove a narrative in the Mount Kenya region that Uhuru Kenyatta is incompetent, he's a drunkard, and he has ruined the economy and the country. He persuaded many people, I included, because he's very persuasive when he gets on a narrative. And he drove a narrative against Uhuru Kenyatta and recruited all of us, I included. I was among the leader of those who believed in what he told us, that Uhuru Kenyatta is a drunkard, is a useless leader, is a man who has messed this country, is a man who cannot be trusted to organize a succession. And we should despise him, we should hate him. And we listened to William Ruto and he persuaded us. 5 years down the line, Uhuru Kenyatta is gone. William Ruto, the one who said Uhuru is incompetent, has come on stage. The education system that was working when Uhuru Kenyatta was there is finished. Children at home. The health system has crumbled. People are overtaxed. Nothing is working in the country. Yet, at that time, he had persuaded us that Uhuru Kenyatta is an incompetent man, is a drunkard, is a leader not worth talking about. He came and persuaded us that our enemy as a region is Raila Odinga, who is a witch doctor. And since Uhuru Kenyatta has brought him, and Uhuru Kenyatta does not mean well for us, we should hate Uhuru Kenyatta and trust William Ruto to carry our destiny. We believed him. He's very good in driving narratives. So when he came to the mountain, he needed to drive a narrative against Rigathi Cachagua, thinking that the people are as gullible as they were then. And he was confident that if he could successfully drive a narrative against Uhuru Kenyatta when he was president, he could equally drive a narrative against Rigathi Cachagua. And he cobbled this narrative of 10 billion. The purpose was to show the people of the Mount Kenya region, this Cachagua guy is a very selfish man.
So did you or did you not blackmail the president?
Of course I did not blackmail the president, because if I did, Rogers,
yes,
it would have been accusation number 1 before the Senate.
Impeachment.
This impeachment was crafted by William Ruto. It was drafted by the National Intelligence Service and Professor Kindiki. And the president even had blackmailed him. Blackmail is a criminal offense. It should have been accusation number 1. It did not appear anywhere. Since October 18, the president has never talked about it until he came to the mountain. And
viewers, as you listen to one Riggy G by this interview by Rogers, you realize that this man is very hungry in his speech. Is attacking the president of the Republic of Kenya without mincing his words. Now, this comes barely 2 days ago when the former Attorney General also attacked William Ruto. So these attacks seems to be well coordinated, well arranged. It is something that the Mount Kenya politicians probably had agreed that they are going to do. So I don't see William Ruto getting much from the mountain, and he has resorted to looking for allies elsewhere, like in Nyanza, but in Nyanza and Western is also very, very shaky for William Ruto come 2027. The ground for William Ruto is very, very shaky. Now, when you listen to Rigathi Cachagua, I don't think that the current MPs who are supporting William Ruto in Kenya Kwanza from Mount Kenya region will make it in parliament. I think it's a done deal. The Ichungwas, despite doing all that in Kikuyu constituency, I don't think that he's really going to make it in parliament, and many others who are allied to William Ruto. Now, in this broad-based arrangement, I always tell people that Kenyan politics is full of surprises, and I will not be surprised if the Kenya Kwanza or if the intelligence community, the NISS, those who study the politics of the country, I've already told William Ruto that, you know, this guy is going to bring you down. And is going to be this, if he manages to win, if his group manages to win the 2027 elections, I can tell you that this country will never be the same again. Maybe the rift will widen and revenge will be the order of the day, but God forbid. Let us not go towards that direction of what we witnessed in 2007. The politics that William Ruto is playing and the politics that Rigathi Cachagua is playing, these guys are very combative. and they are very good at words. Rigathi Cachagua is a very good orator, same as William Ruto. And they campaigned together, formed the government, but now William Ruto kicked out Rigathi Cachagua, one of his main financiers in the last general elections. I think Rigathi is bitter, one, because this is a government that he helped form, and again, he lost some money. You have to look at it that way also. He lost some money in that event. And that is why there is this talk of 10 billion. He demanded 10 billion from me. Cachagua is saying that, you know, I didn't demand anything. So we don't know who to believe. So what do you think? Was Cachagua right to go in public about these allegations on William Samoei Ruto? I want you to leave a comment on the comment section so that we can respond and have a decent conversation about what you feel about when Rigathi Cachagua went on public. And again, he went on a media outlet that is wide, that has got print and also television, and also it has got radio stations, and that is KTN. And KTN has been criticizing the government. He chose the right media to go and air to have this particular interview. So in the first section, you see the allegations of Cachagua's demand, and you listen to Ruto's tone during the interview, during the presser. It is unclear. It is unclear whether Riggy G really demanded 10 billion from him. So we don't know who to believe in this. But let's say, okay, maybe it was true, maybe it is not true. But Cachagua today has denied that he demanded that kind of money. But when you listen to Cachagua's tone, he's not happy that this has been exposed out there, that he indeed demanded. We want to assume that, yes, Cachagua, you demanded 10 billion. Or else President William Ruto will be a one-term president. Now, the question is, why did Cachagua decide to speak now? Why has he decided to speak now? Now, there is a political realignment going on in Kenya secretly. Remember, the people of the mountain already have a political movement. In Western, there is a realignment of their politics that is happening. In Nyanza, there is also a realignment towards the UDA government by one Raila Odinga. Is working very, very closely with William Ruto. That is where you hear the Kumi Bila break coming from supporters of Raila Odinga, who are saying, you know, Ruto has to go for another term. So Kenya, as usual, is divided. Again, divided towards tribal lines. If you claim Riggy G is tribal, he's just working for the Mount Kenya people. The same as the Luya leaders, people like Wetangula, we hardly see them anywhere else apart from his Bukusu community. We see all these leaders. Same to Mudavadi is only zero grazing around Kakamega. These leaders are just tribal. So tribalism is part of us. whether it is positive to you. To me, I think it is the ethnicity brews this kind of hatred, and we have seen countries go down because of these ethnic blocks or ethnic balkanization. And that is what is happening in Southern Sudan right now between Salva Kiir tribe and Riek Machar tribe, which Riek Machar comes from the minority, Salva Kiir comes from the majority. So they feel that now it is our turn again to take power. You've been here, you are unhealthy, it's time for you to go. So yes, this ethnicity brings a lot of things, and if you are not careful, this ethnic politics that is going on in Kenya will one day bring our country down. And we have to be very, very, very careful and call it out that, we want leaders to talk about policy. We want leaders to talk about what will Kenya look like beyond their legacy. And we also want to let leaders know that, you can't be in Kenya, we can't be in the presidency forever, or you can't be a leader forever. Now, in our country right now, the political class are the ones who are owning the big hotels. They're the ones who are getting the government contracts. They're the ones who are, getting deals from people doing business in their constituency. I saw a clip where Richard Echesa is claiming that Selassie, his house is being built by the owners of Mumia Sugar. Same as in the same clip, he claims that the senator, Boni Alwale, being a very, very vocal, that indeed that his palatial home was built by the guy who is running Mumias at the moment. So you see these kind of things that are cropping up in our politics. Just shows how dirty the Senate and the Parliament is. So it is high time that we think and see through whether we can overhaul the old system and bring new leaders on board. When I watched this interview, you also look at the body language. Did Cachagua lean forward? Did he use gestures in his interview? When somebody uses gestures during an interview, I'm just teaching you, that shows signs of frustrations. Was he calmer than William Ruto? Was William Ruto more aggressive during his interview? Those are small little signs that you need to check on who is telling you the truth. Now, we want to see the casualties, the fallouts in Kenya Kwanza coalition and what it means in 2027. Now, as it is right now, the guy who is bringing problems for the Kenya Kwanza government is not Kalonzo, is not Raila Odinga, is not Eugene Wamalwa, it is not Wajakoya, but it is Riggy G. Riggy G is the force that is bringing to the Kenyan people what Raila Amolo Odinga used to do before he became mtu wa mwosho moja. Yeah, that is what Baba used to do during his days when he would come and confront government. But right now he's toothless. He can't confront government on anything. But Riggy G has occupied the space, and he is more articulate on the issues that he wants done for the country. when he's talking about the killings and abductions, he is very, very, very clear that the government of William Ruto did A, B, C, D. He is even gone as far as mentioning the units that are actually doing the abduction. So this is a man that has decided to bring the government down. But what are the implications? What are the implications? The voters are now like, okay, wait a minute. Is this guy telling us the truth? Wait a minute. People who are undecided already are taking sides now. People who thought that, okay, William Ruto is doing A, B, C, D are now looking at him like, oh, but just the other day, Riggy G said that, you've got these other dealings. Just the other day, the Adani saga, you are deep in it, So the issues of fertilizer, Riggy G has said that these fertilizers that were given for free by the Russians were actually repackaged. That's why we found soil in there. Now look at this kind of government. What are we talking about? Surely Kenya, yani are we that low? Yani hii tama ya pesa yani imetufikisha mahali mpaka yani tunaangalia boss ni ngapi ndio naweza make. Ni mambo tu na chapa pesa. Everybody is looking for where is going to get the new, where is going to make money. Whether it is fraudulently, people don't even care. Riggy G has claimed sensationally that, he could not work with the president anymore. And he has given his, he has given us his points. But what he wants also is to the president to explain to Kenyans why actually he had to sack one Riggy G. Riggy G still doesn't understand. He seems not to understand why he was wounded out of office. Yet he was doing his job diligently. In most of the clips I've seen where Ruto actually lied, Riggy G was articulating government policies in the beginning. Probably after the fallout is when he stopped articulating government policies, but he was doing his job. Now, the people of Kenya want service delivery, Mr. President. They want service delivery. They want the education sector to work properly. Right now, the world order is changing. You can see the issue of tariffs all over. Leaders in Africa are so undecided. They don't even know what to do. They don't even know how to react to what is happening globally. No leader is even talking about it. Kenya being one of them. Our development partners have said that he's no longer going to fund the projects that they used to run in Kenya. Where is the government making arrangements, alternative arrangements to the medical supplies that they used to get from the US? That is no longer there. Until we'll have a crisis is when there will be a cabinet meeting to address this particular issue. The world is changing. This world is really changing very, very, very fast. Their trade wars each and everywhere. You need to think. You need to think for your country. You need to think how you are going to survive without the donor funding. Countries are trying as much as are trying very, very hard, very, very much to not to borrow. External borrowing will be a thing of the past. Free gifts that you used to receive from Europe and from America is a thing of the past right now. Everybody is shutting their doors and windows for Africa. But what are African leaders doing? What is Mr. President doing? Nobody is addressing the CA, the cabinet CS have not even heard him address the issue of tariffs. It's not even a factor. I don't know whether they think that it is not going to affect the country. You're wrong, Mr. CS. If the funding by the US in the programs that they used to run, like AMREF and all that, stops, then things like World Vision and all that, please, those funding that used to come through the United States government are no longer going to be there. So you need to do something about it. So we are in that kind of situation as a country. We need to really think and see how we are going to navigate this, what is under Donald Trump. So things are changing very, very, very fast. Things are changing very, very, very fast. Now, on this analysis by our viewers out there and what I've seen on in the public, the debate that is going on in the public, it shows that Riggy G, even if the Kikuyu community are not running for president in 2027, they have not shown ambition that they want to take leadership in 2027. But they can back a community, and I'm seeing them backing one person from Western. I don't know who that person will be, but if there is a mountain alliance with Western Kenya, and the Luyas for the first time will be able to produce a candidate who will not only be a strong candidate, being that they are number two, I think they're number two in the whole republic right now. The Kikuyu is number one. Number two is the Luya community in terms of the voting blocks. So William Ruto is left with the Luo community and the Somalis, and of course his ethnic Kalenjin community. I think that vote is not good enough, but I feel that maybe in the next few months he'll be reaching out to people like Kalonzo Musyoka, because there's so many other government slots that are still open. He is going to look for new allies, people who can bring for him votes. Already he has captured the moment in Luo Nyanza, unless they are demanding for more. In Kisii, I think it's a done deal. They have a candidate by the name Matiang'i or Maraga coming in. That's a done deal. Kisii people, they're not swayed by rhetorics. I think for the first time they will be very enthusiastic to support one of their own. I remember the last time they had a presidential candidate was when a strong presidential candidate was the days of Anyona and Nyachai. So this time round, if they have Matiang'i and or Maraga, they indeed will have a very, very strong candidate because Kenyans are looking for alternative. Because right now, Ruto's government, according to the popularity index that we are seeing moving around, even when you just do your own analysis, if you meet any 5 people from different communities, ethnicities, if you meet 5 people, you'll only find that 2 of them or 1 is supporting William Ruto's government. So that tells you a lot that there's something that is not right. But again, if you look at what William Ruto has done, apart from some fake promises that he has made, he has also done some good job, some good infrastructure projects like the housing. He has really done good in housing. What I don't know about is whether those numbers, the economic index will tilt in his favor. At the end of the day, has he created the jobs that the people wanted? Has he employed more teachers than any other regime? Has he employed, more policemen in his government, during his tenure? So in 2027, his report card will be read to Kenyans out there. And the person who will be opposing William Ruto is one Riggy G. And Riggy G is also a very good orator. And for the first time, I can tell you, even if this group loses the election, we will have a very strong parliament. We will have a very, very strong opposition in parliament come 2027. That is the only hope that I want for Kenyans, because with a strong opposition, that will put the government on check each and every time. So we hope for the best, that this time round, indeed, Kenya is looking at the right candidate to face William Ruto. But the way things are, the Kikuyu community are not ready to go for the presidency. They are ready to support another community. When I look at Kalonzo, I see Kalonzo, he has got an opportunity, but bado atoshi mboga. Kuna vile, there is just something, there's some charisma that Kalonzo is not having, that these other leaders, Riggy G, Raila Odinga, William Ruto, they have it, and even Natabea has that charisma to bring people together. So this one is seen more in Riggy G. But look, if Riggy G decides to run for the presidency, can other communities vote for him? The answer is no. That is again a very, very big no. A very, very big no. And he knows it. So Riggy G will be an instrument for change. He will be the power broker. He will be the person who will be able to deliver this country out of the Kenya Kwanza regime. At least we will see some development or some corruptions coming down when Riggy G's group takes on William Ruto and Raila Odinga in 2027. So Kenyan politics is full of drama. We don't know whether Riggy G can decide to work with Ruto again. You never know. His cases are still in court. He's still weighing his options. He can run for any other particular office, I think so, until his cases are determined. I don't know what the law is saying right now, but many people are telling me that this guy can still run for office. But my question to you, my viewers out there, is that if Riggy G decides to run for presidency, are Kenyans ready to vote for one Riggy G? Are we ready for a Kikuyu president? I think Kenya is not ready for that. Kenya is not ready for that. So finally, I would like to hear from you the implications of this particular interview, far-reaching, and your perspective is very, very important for Africa. What do you think? Will Gachagua's bold claims lead to a lasting change within the ruling coalition, or are these statements just part of the political chessboard ahead of the next general elections? Do you believe that this weekend's President Ruto's all in power? Leave your thoughts and comments below, and we will make sure that we share them in our next session as we break down the interview of one Riggy G. If you have not subscribed to Africa 24, please make sure that you do subscribe to Africa 24. We have a cocktail of events here on Africa. We don't only discuss politics, we discuss any other things, things to do with your social life, things to do with the things that we enjoy most. Soccer, we have got Dimbala Africa that comes on Monday, each and every time. If you're a soccer lover, you can always tune on to Dimbal Africa and watch our able panelists led by Kimanzi, Cortez, Aleki, and many other Kelong, many other panelists who are on who love the English Premier League and the UEFA Champions League. And one last congratulations to my team Arsenal for beating Real Madrid. Mabao ilikuwa ni matatu. So watu wa Manchester, kama mmesikia kinyongo mahali, please msijali, there'll be a next time. I don't rule out a comeback in Spain. Real Madrid is not a very easy side to beat. So congratulations to Team Arsenal for doing a wonderful job. And Arteta and his team, at least you made my night. Congratulations once again. And just remind you, please make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, make sure you leave a comment on Africa. If you didn't like anything that we have said here on Africa, this is not the position of Africa. This is individual positions. This is what we think about our politics. We have got the freedom to express and what we feel and be part of the change that many Kenyans are yearning for. So if you support the current regime, well and good. If you don't support the current regime, we also wish you luck in 2027. Otherwise, here in Africa, we are here to give you the unbiased analysis, uncensored analysis of the politics of the day. Remember, the other time, just here on Africa, we used to tell you that one Uhuru Kenyatta is going to lose. But now I see Uhuru Kenyatta uniting with his Mount Kenya people to bring the kind of change maybe that Kenya is looking for. You knows, maybe William Ruto will change. Maybe his dream team are going to craft something that will wow us at the end of the day. Otherwise, I wish you guys a good morning and a good night if you're in America. If you're in Kenya, it's good morning. Karibu tena leo jioni kwa another session of Africa 24. Good night.